Have you copyrighted Kyle Tutter?
What we are going to be doing with the double garage.
To do with finances. When will we start a family?
Yes.
Later. Has inspired them to want to renovate in the future. I'll put a little Jacob compilation in there. Interesting that somebody said that they couldn't figure it out.
It'll be fine, they said.
Hey everyone, it's Q&A time. We grabbed your questions and took them along on our morning walk with B. You've asked such a fun mix of things, so we hope you enjoy hanging out with us and getting to know us a little bit better.
So first question that somebody asked, which is quite interesting, is how old are you both? How old? Can't you say that? How old are you both? Because
Get here.
do a Q&A on a dog walk. We thought
It'll be fine, they said.
it's actually more stressful than we thought it would be. Anyway, how old are you both? Because this lady said that she couldn't figure it out with her boyfriend, which is interesting. So, how old are we?
Georgie's 30.
No, I'm not. Right, we are going to try and attempt to answer this question
For the third time.
The third and final time. How old are we both?
Georgie is 29, I am 31.
So, don't ever say that I'm 30 yet.
Into my 30s.
I
Well
am.
into my 30s.
Last bit of my 20s. But interesting that somebody said that they couldn't figure it out. Is that because we look younger? Or is that because we look a little bit older?
Yeah.
How old do you think we were? Can we have an update on the vanity unit?
Georgie's little side project.
Yes, so got a little bit carried away on Facebook Marketplace and obviously wanted to start that project, but we haven't even moved in and there were so many other jobs to be doing. So it's still at the point as it was that you've last seen it, back and side sanded in one drawer.
Yeah.
and
that's it. Georgie got bored.
I didn't get bored, I got occupied. Someone was asked, have you copyrighted Kyle Tutter?
You're a Kyle Tutter, Kyle Tutter? Kyle Cutter.
So the Kyle, oh my god, I'm going to keep saying Kyle Tutter. Kyle Tutter. Kyle Tutter.
Need to find someone called Kyle Tutter.
Is anyone out there called Kyle Tutter?
Not yet, we're in the process.
We're still on the hunt of finding a Kyle Tutter. Please, we need to find Kyle Tutter. Everyone put a search party out. Oh, this is a great one after this malarkey. Would you ever consider getting another dog? Quite a few people asked this question in multiple different ways. Let's say it at the same time. 3, 2, 1.
Yes.
Later.
No, we completely agree on each other.
Yeah.
We are very much aligned on, well, actually we're not, because when you say get another dog, I have this dream of having multiple dogs at the same time, like a pack of dogs. Georgie just wants like 2.
I'd be happy with one good family dog.
The answer is yes, we would get another dog, but much later on in life, I think.
And I think for us, we kind of have gone for a breed, a Rottweiler, that is a lot more hands-on. So we're kind of giving B our all at the moment. Right, we sat down now, so it's a little bit more relaxing.
Yeah.
This one was a really interesting one, and she wants us to rank our helpers that have got specific abilities, and she's giving us the list of abilities. So the first one, and this is including ourselves, she said that we can include ourselves in this. So the first person, she said, is who is the worst listener? I'm going to vote myself. There's probably been various times that I've not listened or not understood. I don't think any of the other helpers, I wouldn't say that they're bad listeners.
Just trying to think. No.
I'll put myself down for that one.
I don't think you're a bad listener.
Most likely to be called in an emergency.
It's got to be the most handy people. So
Hit the fan, you'd go for...
I think I'd have to choose Rob and Jacob.
Yeah. Jacob for his knowledge.
Expertise and knowledge.
And
But
Rob
then Rob's
because
quite handy as well.
he's just basically the dad, isn't he? He just comes to the rescue.
The all-seeing eye.
Delusionally confident, I'm going to vote you.
Yeah, I nominate myself.
Right, what are we doing today?
We're going to get the entire bathroom floor tiled.
That's a big statement.
I think it's doable.
No, it's not doable.
Most knowledgeable is the next one, Jacob.
Yeah. To be fair, every question that we've had, I probably ring him I'd say nearly daily or every other day. Oh yeah, I love it. The paneling turned out really well.
Yeah, the paneling, the dado, the architecture, just everything, the tiling, it all matches so fucking well. Hurrah.
I'll catch you later.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
So big shout out to you, Jacob.
Yes, big shout out to Jacob.
And I think, to be fair, because people have commented, I think, on videos, they're saying like how good
How
it is
handy
to
it
have,
is to have someone like that. Yeah, and it really is massively helpful, because even just like kind of when you want to reaffirm what your thoughts are and what you think is the right way of doing something, just somebody there to go, yeah, that's absolutely fine, go ahead with it, or do this instead, or...
Yeah. The next one she said is best at whinging.
We definitely know who that is.
Sorry. Jack.
Jack Toolan.
Mark's brother.
Goggles. I'm getting the eye.
Yeah, we do.
Hell, man. No, I've got a massive stone in my shirt.
He cracks on and he gets stuff done, but he loves to moan in the process of doing it.
He's like, well, he's in his 20s now, but I would say he's the epitome, like a Kevin and Perry.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Last one she put is who is the vibe bringer, and we can hands down say this is Jacob.
Yeah.
And there's so much we can't put in of Jacob because it's normally involving the radio, and YouTube will not allow copyright songs. But I'll see if I can put some snippets in. But he literally is always singing, dancing, cracking jokes.
Yeah.
I'll put a little Jacob compilation in right now.
No Michaels were harmed in the filming of this video. It's like heart surgery, this.
Yeah, I know, I need to put the bracket in.
But you want to get your screw ready first. Have you been watching the thing I've been doing?
On that note, we also want to do a massive big shout out to everyone that's helped us. That's including our friends Ben, Sam, Abby, Michael's sister, Jen, Michael's mum, our brother-in-laws, both Dan and Chris, that have helped us like from a skills perspective. And
also just like other friends that have just been so willing to take time out of their busy schedules to come and help, like our friends Becky and Harry, like they always are saying to us, like, just let us know when you want to come round, when you need us to come round, and
they came at the
messiest time, ripping down ceilings and stuff. So it is just a massive shout out to not just actually our friends and family, but to like every trade that we've had involved in this project so far. We've been the reason why it's been going so well, and it's going so well, is because we've got such a good network of trades. Last night, for example, we were at the house and there was an issue with one of the lights. I messaged our electrician, and there was no time scale on it. And half an hour later, I'd put my phone back in my pocket and he turned up at the door unannounced.
I wonder who this is. This is our
plumber. Bye, mate. Yeah, our project has gone really well so far, and we haven't been let down by a single tradesman. We haven't had any issues with anything like that. Which when you do speak to people who undertake these sort of large scale projects, or even just smaller scale projects, there's constant problems with trades and reliability and kind of money being spent and whatnot. But actually, we've got such a good network of trades around us, which really helps. So it's a massive shout out to everybody that we've worked with, and we're really appreciative of everything.
Next lot of questions, we've had a few of them, so we've kind of just grouped them into 2 questions, because I think everyone asked pretty much the same question but in a different roundabout way, is to do with finances. One question, kind of summing it up, was how we financed the project. So I'll look over to our project manager over here to answer that one.
Believe it or not, we actually went down the traditional route of getting a mortgage for the house. So our main, say finance as such is the standard, the mortgage to buy the house. In terms of like how we financed the actual project itself, so we've used like savings, private investments, and we've also like been really, really fortunate, and we didn't actually kind of expect this to be
the case, really.
We didn't expect this to be the case at this stage, but we've been really fortunate to get quite a good amount of like brand deals through YouTube and social media, which has massively actually helped towards helping finance the renovation, hasn't it?
Yeah, we've done things, I think, we've done quite a lot within 6 months, and I think we've been able to do it at that speed because we've had the help of and YouTube.
Yeah.
That in itself. So it's like the brand deals, but also obviously we started this channel, and really thanks to you guys that are watching us every week. We're in a really fortunate position where we can kind of use the money that we're earning from YouTube to kind of help with our project. So every view and every subscriber is actually helping us fund this project. So that's pretty much how we're financing it. And then we've had quite a lot of questions that kind of revolve around what to expect in terms of costs, probably for the bigger outlays. So like your roof, your windows, plastering a house. So
plumbing,
we'll just give
electricity,
you
that sort of stuff.
Obviously it's going to be very tailored to each specific property, but roundabout figures, like if you're looking for a new roof, like a complete strip.
Again, like this is completely dependent on the size of property that you have. We are very fortunate that we've got quite a large property. Again, that then comes with bigger expenses when you come to replacing every single window and door, completely re-roofing the property. But for example, like a complete re-roof on a property this sort of size would cost you in the region of anywhere between £15,000 to £22,000.
Yeah.
And that entirely depends on things like what sort of spec tile that you have on it. That can make a huge difference.
Yeah.
Because you can get cheaper tiles and more expensive tiles depending on what sort of look you're going for, and depends on what sort of material that you use. Windows and doors could probably cost you in the region of, I don't know, £8,000 to £20,000 on this size property, and the rest probably depending on what sort of window that you go for, what sort of material you go for. We went for like your standard UPVC, but we could have easily doubled or tripled how much we spent on our windows and doors if we chose to say right, okay, we're going to go for a wooden sash window on every single. That would quite literally like triple the amount of money that we spent. So there is quite a few different ways to look at different cost and budget and like different jobs and kind of how to basically make it fit within your budget.
Because we've had quite a lot of questions around that topic, we are really open to potentially making a bit more content about kind of cost budget for anyone that's thinking about doing a renovation or even just kind of upgrading their own home. So stay tuned.
Something that actually like is a massive part of, well, one, I do this for a day job on a large scale for like a residential developer. A large part of this project is like budgeting, cost control, project management, and we actually don't show really any of that. So if anybody is interested in either just us providing some more content or speaking to us, like this is actually something that we would like to like provide in the future and help with, really, because we do get quite a few comments on
that kind of side of things. Some more like personal questions. People have asked kind of what we do for a day job, because we've kind of explicitly said quite a lot of times in videos. Obviously we work full time. You should probably have seen Michael like rock up to the house in the evenings in like suits and stuff. I work in luxury house sales, so real estate marketing side of things encompasses loads of things, but it is in the property space, which I think has helped drive our shared passion. And Mikhail,
I work in residential development in the commercial side of things, so I'm a QS, and my sort of experience is budgeting, cost controlling.
But it's super handy.
And it's been quite fortunate that we've both kind of fell into, like I said, we're both kind of aligned on kind of shared passions and visions when it comes down to like property.
And I think actually this adds on to something that I have seen, like part of another question is like, how do you do it together? Because I've had so many people say like, oh, as a couple, like it's quite a lot of stress maybe on a couple. But I think if one of us was like really into this and passionate about it, and the other person was just kind of going along and just having to live in an absolute building site and just and like
wasn't invested
kind of mentally, then I can completely see how that it would be a massive strain on any kind of relationship. But I think both of us have got such a passion for the renovation side alone, renovating a property. And then on top of it, now we've kind of got this passion of kind of sharing it with you guys and the content
producing
side of
content, marketing, like,
and we love that side of it too. So it's really, we've meshed well. So we are very fortunate for that. Meshed. Got a question about when will we start a family? we get asked this question a lot by our families.
Yeah.
We both have older siblings that have children, so we have lots of nieces and nephews. So I feel like our cup is full at the moment with
Babies.
Like we get a nice fix from all of our nieces and nephews. Obviously, we have shared with you that this house is going to be our family home, so that hopefully makes you know that at some point down the line there will be a family in there.
Yeah.
But we hold those things quite close to our chest.
Yeah.
So
we're not going to give out much more information on that, really.
we have a fur baby at the moment, which is B.
Yeah, she's enough.
She's enough.
So a question that we get a lot is what we are going to be doing with the double garage. Everyone's like, all right, oh, you're going to build it back up, you're going to make it look nice. No, we're going to definitely take that down because it's pretty much falling down anyway.
Yeah, well, that was actually initially part of our mortgage agreement that it had to come down.
Yeah, it had to come down, yeah.
Our mortgage company were quite flexible with the fact that as long as we've moved the utilities out of there.
Yeah, it's actually detached from the house, so it's not really impacting anything really. But we've got some really big plans.
For what will be there.
Yeah, for what will be there and what we actually kind of want there in the future, but that's probably a while off because it's quite expensive to put a garage
and
up or a carport.
Highest on the priority list, but we don't want dead empty space there.
No,
there will
we'll definitely
something.
replace it with something beautiful.
Yeah. And I think a lot of people will care about it because they kind of talk about this Victorian brick, but you notice it's actually just the first layer.
Yeah, the face of the garage is actually the face of the garage. The brick is the same as the house, but everything else behind it is a random
mishmash of
bricks.
So there isn't actually that many to save. So we'll try and save.
Yeah, we'll keep some and see if we can find some use for them. But what made us take on a project of this size? And if we were to kind of have this choice again, would we do anything different, basically, that we've done so far?
So project this size, I would say we definitely knew we wanted to do a project this size.
Yeah.
I don't think we necessarily were 100% that it was going to be our first but our next project. We were looking to move house, and we were probably looking at 3-bedroom semi-detached houses that needed doing up.
But more like just mainly cosmetic stuff. So like not including a whole re-roof, not including every single window and door being replaced, not including like a whole new central heating system pretty much putting in and drainage redoing and whatnot. It was more just, right, okay, we can go in there, we'll put a new bathroom, new kitchen, flooring, maybe a little bit of skimming, kitchen stuff.
And I think we knew later down the line we would be doing bigger projects.
Just come a lot sooner than we imagined.
Just the opportunity arose itself. I mean, everyone hopefully has fallen in love with the property as much as we are. But you can imagine when we first saw it, it was like
we need it. It was a matter of like how are we going to get this? Not can we? Like it was right. Okay, how can we make this happen? It was definitely going to happen. It was just a matter of how we're going to do it.
I used to remember saying stuff like, if we'd say like, if this happens, if that, and then we'd like check in with each other. So you mean when?
Yeah,
when.
Yeah.
We don't like the word if, we say when.
No.
And if you were to do anything differently?
I don't think so. I don't think
the timing and everything has kind of just really worked for us.
Yeah.
I can't think of any reason to do anything differently. This is an opportunity that presented itself to us, and we are so lucky, and I'm going to put luck out there, that our mortgage term was coming to an end, which is why we were naturally already thinking about putting our property on the market. And the fact that the timing of us wanting to sell our house came at the exact same time that this seller decided to sell this property, because they were sitting on that decision for 2 years.
Yeah, for 2 years, and our estate agents had kind of not been saying to them for 2 years, when are you going to sell, but they had kind of been speaking to them over the last couple of years just because they knew that they were going to be selling at some point. So it was just a matter of when are they going to put it on the market, and it came pretty much right at the...
It just all aligned.
Yeah, it all aligned, yeah.
And we were really fortunate that we had quite a few people interested in our property, so our property sold really quick, which allowed us to be quite confident in our buying process and our offer. And that's a whole other area of content that we want to get into, is like really how to present offers, how like the buying and selling process, to make sure that like if you are looking to kind of just buy a house, but even if it's like a renovation and you want to be top of the list for
Yeah.
the seller to choose you. We can kind of go into that as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're really fortunate. So no, not doing anything differently. Hardest part of the renovation and what has like been surprisingly challenging. I'm going to let you answer that, and then I'll see if mine's similar.
In all honesty, for me, the hardest part of this renovation process is the amount of hours that you have to put into it. Like, we are working 40 hours a week in our full-time paid jobs, and then on top of that, potentially putting in another 30 hours some weeks. Like, we will do a long shift Saturday, a long shift Sunday, like Friday night, Thursday night, every night in the week. Some weeks we'll be there for, okay, some weeks, some days it's only a couple of hours in the evening, but like the hardest thing is sometimes is if you've had like a really long stressful day at work, is coming back, and you can't just switch off. You can't just sit down on the sofa and veg out for the evening and relax. It's right, okay, well I've got stuff to do because I need to get this done and I need to move in and whatnot. So for me personally, it's the amount of hours that goes into it.
I would say mine's similar, but I think when I say this is like surprisingly challenging, I actually feel like we've navigated it quite well. But we are people that really enjoy going to the gym. We enjoy getting our sleep. We enjoy eating clean, and it's when you're putting this amount of, maybe, I don't like to say the word stress on your body, but when you're putting this amount of hours in, it's
but it
then,
is at the end of the day, it is stress on your body. Like, okay, people think stress is like, oh, I'm really stressed, but like you can get physical and mental stress just from doing this.
And it's keeping a routine. So we like to try and go to the gym in the morning to get it done, because obviously we can't in the evenings, so that's an early wake up. It's even like long days where we don't have a kitchen right now, trying to be hot on like pre-making meals, so we're not snacking and eating bad. And we go through stages. Like, I would say majority of the time we're eating well, but there are times where I just think like convenience.
Yeah, that's a really key thing, is when you're doing what I've found is when we're doing stuff like this and you're busy and you're on your feet and your mind's occupied and you're not like in a routine, like it's so easy to kind of find that quick fix of, right, okay, well, let's just get some biscuits and that will tide us over for a few hours, or like I'm just going to get a fizzy drink, or like I'm going to get a Red Bull, or I'm going to have a sandwich, and like, but actually you get nothing from it, and then we feel like crap. Like,
so one of the questions we got, which I really thoroughly enjoyed reading, is the fact that somebody has said that like watching our videos has inspired them to want to renovate in the future. And I don't know how old this person is that kind of put it, but I'm assuming that they may be of a younger age. And I just think that for us is probably the biggest win, is to kind of inspire people to do something similar, because we absolutely love it and it's really rewarding. So they've asked, where do they begin in this process? Which is a big question.
It's a massive question. Maybe a lot of people get put off doing something like this because like you can overanalyze and almost like paralyze yourself to be able to just start. But there is so much that goes into kind of like a renovation, and like we said before, like there's different scales of renovations. You can have like a cosmetic and just some like paint, or some paint on the walls, some carpets, new kitchen, bathroom, or you can go for like a full scale development, and you could even do a self build. But I think like initially, like the most important thing is to just educate yourself on, right, okay, well, like question yourself to go, right, what am I actually capable of? How many, like, who can help me out on this? Because ultimately, like, if you're not experienced, you will definitely need help. And then like look into things, right, okay, well, how much money do I have to throw at this? How much roughly is it probably going to cost me? And if you don't know the answers to those things, like, speak to people, like, educate yourself, like, ask questions to people, pay for some mentoring, some tutoring, and
so worth it.
And it is definitely worth it, because that's exactly what, okay, my background and Georgie's background has definitely helped us in this situation. But like, what you don't see, years leading up to this, Georgie and I have committed and paid for like courses and all sorts, just
and
to
there's
kind
so
of
much free.
And there's a lot of free stuff. YouTube is absolutely brilliant at providing information to people.
The more questions that come up about this, we want to answer them in full because they can be broken down in so many different ways. So this is giving us the kind of like kick up the bum to be like, actually, we are really happy to kind of start creating some content that kind of goes into the different stages and maybe like the different like phases
elements of like development and budgeting and
a renovation process.
how to do a renovation,
where to start.
where to start, who you need to speak to. Good question that we got is, do you follow any other content creators and get any inspiration from anybody else? We definitely do. Like, then this comes back to like when we're looking at planning our renovation and getting some inspiration, getting some advice, like we use YouTube a lot and we commit a lot of our time not just to making content for YouTube but watching YouTube. The big creators that we follow,
and we followed for a while, like this has helped, I think, inspire us to do it as well.
This definitely gave us inspiration to actually just crack on with it, and the confidence as well, because watching other people do these sort of large scale renovations does just give you a lot of confidence to go, look, like I don't need to know everything, but I can either pay for someone to help me learn how to do it, or I can actually just give it a go.
Big shout out to kind of our inspirations.
Nikki and Harry, they're great.
Absolutely fantastic and just real, authentic young couple.
Yeah, just commit to the cause, basically.
Committing to the grind.
Millie and Louis.
I'm sure you've all seen Belgrave Villa.
Belgrave Villa looks an amazing project. We have been following that from the very beginning as well. Which when we were, before we'd even like put any offers on our house, we were like, oh, okay, like this was our inspiration to go like, let's actually just potentially just get something derelict.
Huge project,
It's massive. Restoring Number 4 is also another account that we watch quite regularly. They've done so much on their house, like they've pretty much ripped everything out and started again.
And doing so much themselves.
Just
hands down to them.
Yeah.
And then moving over to like in the Instagram world, I think we're mainly on kind of YouTube in terms of watching people consistently and like longer form content, but since kind of doing this, we've been following Benji. I'll put his Instagram on there again, doing it, young guys doing it all by himself, so massive inspiration. We've got Ellie and Lawrence that have taken on a Victorian property as well, which is amazing. And then a bigger name, which is Scott DIY. You've been following him.
Yeah, I've been following him for ages, just for like kind of like tips and tricks, and you can definitely see that all of his hard work is paying off, because he has really blown up, especially over this last year or so.
We've kind of answered this one, but I think it's a nice one to kind of round up, is just another one just saying, how do you do it? What's the secret? Like working together and like going through this, and I think we kind of touched on it. Just sleep, diet, exercise, like the main pillars to kind of get you through life. Like you can't sacrifice them, they are super important. And then I think mental strength.
Mental strength, but also like it comes back to like we have like a shared passion for this. Like it's not like we are very much both equally invested in like creating really good content, renovating this house. Like we are very much aligned on kind of exactly what we want to achieve like at the end of this.
And I think that's the important thing, is like have a goal, have dreams, have all these things, write them down. It's just basically putting action to what you want. We know what we want, we know what the end goal is, and this is just one step in front of the other. Action, you know, nothing's going to stop us. So it's the mental strength, but it also comes down to
getting 9 hours sleep at night
and being nice to each other and kind to each other.
Yeah.
I hope that has answered loads of your questions. It's really been fun kind of answering them, and kind of maybe you guys getting to know us a little bit more. Put in the comments below if you want part 2, and if there's anything that we didn't answer and that you want to know a little bit more on. We have also forgotten little BBs. She is down here. B.
Eating the grass, probably.
So any questions on B, more than happy to answer.
Stay tuned for Sunday's episode. It's going to be a wet one.
We're outside.
We're outside.
Thank you guys. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see you on Sunday. Bye.